Hello everyone, Jul here. In the simplest terms, a turn-based RPG is an RPG game that uses turn-based as the primary mechanic. Some of you might get confused because some of these games are also featured in my turn-based strategy or tactical RPG games, but well, that's the game industry for you. Alright then, let's get started. Songs of Conquest is a turn-based RPG game inspired by the 90s classics. If you are familiar with Heroes of Might and Magic, then you are going to feel right at home. The combat takes place on a hexagonal grid. Troops take turns in moving and attacking on the field, with troops that have higher initiatives acting first. There are also elevations on top of terrain modifiers, which adds an additional layer of tactical gameplay. Despite still on early access, this evolution of a much-loved classic is already worthwhile to play, so who knows how far they can go when it's fully released. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Complete Edition incorporates two of the best Digimon games ever made. The game follows a traditional JRPG gameplay loop, where players fight enemies inside dungeons, then progress through the story. The main course for this game is collecting Digimons and building a team. If you are looking for Shin Megami Tensei levels of depth, this game misses the mark, though it is more complex than your average Pokemon game. Whether you're a newcomer or fans of the series, this game is an essential experience. Phoenix Point is very much the spiritual successor to the original XCOM series that Julian Gollop set out to make. As the name implies, this is an updated version of the title that arrived as an Epic Games exclusive in 2019. It includes quite a few patches launched over the course of 2020 and 3 pieces of DLC. The basics should be pretty familiar to fans of the genre. On the management layer, resources need to be obtained and distributed for anything from research to equipment, manufacturing, and recruiting. On the tactical layer, squads go up against enemies in turn-based mechanic and hex-based engagements. Final Fantasy X 10-2 HD Remaster is the most complete package for one of the most celebrated entries in the series. A game that once innovative for its graphic might seem less good in comparison to modern releases, but this HD Remaster is able to maintain a modern look without looking any different than the original. The game also offers a bunch of side quests and minigames. While some are quite tedious and annoying, others offer great fun and variety. Of course, not everything has aged completely well, seeing that this is only a remaster, but nevertheless, this is still one of the best JRPG games of all time. Atelier Sophie 2, The Alchemist of the Mysterious Dream, is arguably the best Atelier game ever made. It keeps the tradition and core elements that we all love about the series and improves it in so many aspects. Combat is turn-based and makes good use of the elemental weakness system. The weather changing system is very creative and adds a lot of depth to the exploration, since it can change the enemies and the items you can gather in the same map, and also unlocks paths to new areas. Even if you don't get fully invested in the story, the adventuring alone is enough to keep you playing. There is a good reason why Darkest Dungeon won so many awards and sold over 2 million copies. Its amazing sound, comic-like graphics, and intense difficulty create a title that was addictive to those wanting Lovecraftian horror with a Dark Souls difficulty. Yes, Darkest Dungeon is brutal. Everything can kick your ass if you get caught in the wrong spot. Like any moderately difficult game, failure is an important part of success. and as such, you'll probably need a good sense of humor to properly enjoy this game. Wasteland 3 is an absolute blast. The well-balanced difficulty feels pitch perfect for the story and the world. The Wasteland series have been always tied to Fallout, and while Fallout moved to shooter RPG type of games, Wasteland stayed true to its roots, maintaining its traditional isometric look and gameplay mechanics. The world of Wasteland 3 is not really that big, but it's dense with multiple towns and newborn settlements, each one with their own faction and set of rules. Those who are new to the series can easily start from this one, as it does a great job at explaining events from the previous games. All in all, the game is a must-have for fans of the genre who will immediately love the atmosphere, gameplay, and superb quality of writing. Warhammer 40k Chaos Gate Daemonhunters is a turn-based tactical RPG that draws comparisons to the highly popular XCOM series. The gameplay is similar. As the commander, you assemble squads to exterminate enemies while maintaining headquarters in a careful balancing act of construction and research. The story is better than anyone should expect from a game like this. The writing and voice acting are solid. Unlike XCOM, there's some real tension between the characters, and you make decisions that have real impact on your campaign. If you love Warhammer 40k and XCOM at the same time, well, you know what you have to do.
We cannot lose another battle, brother Iolanthus.
Most gamers are familiar with the most popular JRPG series, like Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, or Persona, but not so many are familiar with the Legend of Heroes Trail series, and that is a shame. It's impossible to just recommend one of the games in the series because all of them are mandatory to fully experience the story. The Trail series isn't going to convert anyone who hates turn-based or story-heavy JRPGs, but the gameplay of this series and the combat system is second to none. The Trail series has everything that you love about JRPGs and games in general. An incredible world, fantastic character design, and well-written characters.
My mind is clear, my blade empty.
Valkyria Chronicles 4 is a refined and retuned Valkyria Chronicles experience that feels both fresh and right at home. Valkyria Chronicles 4 is easily the most accessible and beginner-friendly game in the series, while still offering a decent amount of challenge. As for the story, it's once more an exciting journey full of memorable characters. The side characters actually get to be in the spotlight in their own little missions where their personalities get fleshed out, and if you do well enough, their potentials get a massive upgrade. The main characters get the job done at telling a good story. All of their subplots are also wonderfully connected with each other and are given proper closure by the end. All in all, Valkyria Chronicles 4 is an absolute must-have for Valkyria Chronicles fans as well as turn-based RPG enthusiasts. XCOM 2 improves on its predecessor in almost every way, and proudly stands as one of the most deeply satisfying turn-based RPG games currently available. There are two main portions of the game. Firstly, game missions are the more active half where you command a number of soldiers through a map chunk with an objective to complete, such as to kill all aliens, destroy a target, or rescue a key personnel. The second half of the game is the base and troop management. The game can be as challenging as you want it to be, easy enough to breeze through and experience the game quickly, or very hard and Iron Man mode to completely test your strategy RPG skills. Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous is an isometric CRPG that takes place after the events of its predecessor. Your adventure will be unlike anyone else, simply because of the vast quantity of choices you are forced to make. You are presented with 25 classes that are subdivided into several archetypes each, and on top of this, you are then given choices of race, heritage, statistics, background, religion, skills, feats, and even a pet, which has its own selection of skills and feats to choose from. As for the combat, you can choose between real-time or classic turn-based for whichever suits your playstyle the best. The world is stunning and well-designed, enhanced by a flawless soundtrack that envelopes the entire experience perfectly.
Let us be off.
Dragon Quest XI's is probably one of the most polished and complete games in the last decade. The lore, towns, and the world are really well designed. It is very immersive, and after finishing the game, you can see that the world is actually massive. The quality of life improvements, the orchestral soundtrack, the new side stories and challenges all add up to make Dragon Quest XI's the best way to play this JRPG masterpiece. Even though it suffers from a few graphical downgrades being a Switch port, but it doesn't really matter because the overall experience far exceeds all of the minor shortcomings. Persona 4 Golden on PC is the best thing that could have happened to this game. The core gameplay loop can be separated into two parts, the dungeon crawling and slice of life. The game works with a calendar system. When you have the free time, you can do whatever you want with your days. You start at school, maintain social lives, etc. The combat is your typical JRPG battle system, with the addition of Persona as your main source of spells and abilities. The story as a whole is incredible. It offers an extremely good balance of slice of life things and seriousness, and you actually look forward to both of those moments. All in all, Persona 4 is still one of the best JRPG games of all time, and this port makes it even better.
Seeing as the ring is a bit of sauce.
Divinity Original Sin 2 is quite possibly one of the best games I have ever played, let alone turn-based RPG. The writing in Divinity Original Sin 2 is so dense it could fill several books. The writing itself is superb, and Larian Studios has done a magnificent job of bringing the world to life. Combat is entirely turn-based and highly strategic. Many spells and effects feed off of each other, and it will take a few battles to get the hang of it. This is a game where nearly every choice will have some sort of consequence. Helping one person can cause ripples throughout the whole game, while killing the wrong person might lock you off from an entire quest chain. Though there were some problems during the initial release, everything has been patched and a definitive edition was released, adding a pretty significant amount of content and expanding the world. Alright boys, I think that's it for today. I know there are still other PC turn-based RPG that I haven't mentioned yet, so how about sharing your best PC turn-based RPG games that probably deserve the spot in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss another great list. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Peace!
At once!